My next guest today was a professional footballer who looked like he had it all on the surface, but Clarke Carlisle was suffering with ongoing depression and even tried to take his own life while his wife Carrie was pregnant. Well, they both joined me last year to talk about how Clarke was coping, got an incredible reaction, and they're back today to share some very, very exciting news. It's so good to see you two. Almost you three.
Yeah. 2.5.
2.5. No, this is great news. Another baby on the way. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much. We are rather excited, aren't we?
I'm beside myself, honestly. It's wonderful. Wonderful for us.
Oh, it's great. It's just great. And, of course, so very different this time round. You know, that's the thing, because the last pregnancy was a bit of a nightmare for both of you, obviously.
It was challenging. It was very challenging. This time it is very different. We're not finding out the sex of the baby. And nobody is going to try and kill themselves or be poorly.
No.
That is what we are aiming for. And we can talk about it.
Yes.
Do you know that's the good thing? And you can almost sort of joke about it, not completely.
We can just say it. We can say it.
Right.
And it's not comfortable to hear.
No.
And the fact that it's not comfortable to hear is why it's so important we come and talk to you today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you have, it's World Suicide Prevention Day today, and a lot of people will be talking about this. And the last time you were on, we got such a massive reaction, Clarke, because a lot of people at home, especially men, they don't talk about things like this, and they feel very on their own.
Yes, and it's one of the key factors of especially depression, recurrent depression, and people who have suicidal tendencies, is the very thing that you need to do is the thing that the illness takes you away from.
Right.
It isolates you, it forces you to think that nobody wants to listen, nobody can help. Well, that's utter rubbish, Lorraine, and our journey is testament to that.
Yeah.
You know, what I want to say, what we want to say, this World Suicide Depression Day, World Suicide Prevention Day, is that everyone focuses on the tragedy, and this is when we're cognizant of it, isn't it? You know, because so many lives are torn apart,
Of course,
by suicide. For every one of those figures that we see, that's a person. Their families, their friends, their lives that are torn apart. Well, we sit here today to hopefully show people who are going through it or are on the verge of it right now, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, that there is light. We have worked hard. I've worked hard in my recovery, you know, in my counselling. We communicate, which is hard, especially when you're at a low ebb. But once you do that, you have a freedom to live a life that is balanced, that is supported, and one where you can actually tackle life with a foresight. And now we can look forward to this pregnancy and the expansion of our family.
Which is incredible.
With joy.
I know, and what a great place that you're in. You know, compared to what it was the last time. I mean,
It's very scary.
For you to have been pregnant and for your poor husband who was going through hell, of course.
And I'm so pleased you said it like that. She interrupts.
No.
You know, people have been so wonderful to us. People have been so kind to us. One thing that, if we're going to pick at anything, people would say, oh, how could he do this to you when you're pregnant? It's not like that. What we have discovered this year is people will say, well, why are people ashamed to get help? Well, because they think it's a moral issue. If you get cancer, if you have a heart attack, if any terrible disease or illness comes upon you, people never say, how could you do that to your wife?
That's very true.
Depression, suicidal thoughts, they're not a moral issue. Please don't ever be ashamed of having them. And we've got to get that, never mind the word stigma, we overuse it, let's get that out the way first. And then, of course, you get help. You know, we've learnt some incredible things this year. For instance, do you know that if you, well, I'm sure you do know this, if you had chest pains right now, obviously you don't, this is great, you'd go to A&E and you'd be on red alert. You'd get seen straight away. If you lose consciousness, red alert, you get seen straight away. You know, the third of those three are suicidal thoughts. It's a red alert. You get seen. It is an emergency, like a suspected heart attack. Why don't we? Well, because we're not ashamed of having a suspected heart attack. And we just feel like if people knew that stuff rather than just the scaremongering,
it's true.
we'd all be a bit safer.
We would.
Each time you give us the honour of coming and speaking to you, we want to try and help this conversation get to the next step.
Yes.
So we're beyond talking about it now. We want people to start thinking about their competence and their confidence around this.
Sure.
You know, understand that, just like my wonderful wife said, you know, that the services are there to help you at that point in time. Now, have the confidence to go and access them, and if you're the third person in that scenario, have the confidence to take someone by the hand and say, just like if you're having a heart attack, this is what we need to do,
Right.
this is where we're going.
Thank you, both of you. It's always a joy to see you, and I'm absolutely
you,
thrilled for you. Absolutely thrilled. Can't wait to meet the newest member of the family. Thank you very much indeed. And as we said, today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and if you or somebody you know needs help, lots and lots of helplines, lots of information on our website.